TinSi, Celestial Master, is the title of honor to those who got the way of Tao by ancient Chinese Taoism. The title of honor made its debut in 庄子徐无鬼。
皇帝再拜稽首，稱天師而退。
It is a word of utmost respect. This is where TinSi was originated from. According to the records, Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ is the earliest known as the Celestial Master. At the late Eastern Han Dynasty, Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ devoted himself to practicing at Mount Heming in Sichuan, where he met Taishang Laojun, the supreme elder who imparted him Santian Zhengfa, the top Fa Shu sorcery, and entitled him the TinSi title. Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ used talisman water and spells to heal sicknesses and taught people the way of obtaining salt. Later generations called it Lingjing, boiled salt with salty well water. He also slays demons and eliminates evil, keeps people out of harm's way. Those benefit from it worship him in the name of TinSi, Celestial Master. Later he found Zhengyi Dao in Sichuan, also known as TinSi Dao, with tens of thousands of disciples. Many dynasties in ancient time had a representative TinSi. There was Kou Tianshi in the Northern Wei Dynasty, Lu Xiujing in Liu Song Dynasty, Du Guangting in Tang Dynasty, Sa Shoujian in Song Dynasty, and so on. There are four grand celestial masters of Taoism: Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ, Ge Xuan, Xu Xun, Sa Shoujian. Today let's talk about the head of the four grand TinSi, Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ. Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ, also named Zhang Ling, was born in the Eastern Han Dynasty and lived for 122 years. His birth was a very strange story. A long time ago, there lived an old couple, the Zhangs, near Dongge. They were both over 50 years old, no children. The couple made tofu for a living, working from early till late night, could not be more diligent. One night the couple woke up in the middle of the night and prepared for next day's works. Zhang, the old man, saw a flashing light in the southeast direction and showed it to his wife. His wife, with a kind heart, suggested him to go check it out, thinking someone might have gotten lost. When Zhang, the old man, arrived at the light, he found a dirt pit with a horse lamp next to it, and a bright heat coming from inside. Zhang, the old man, felt it was strange and jumped into the pit to see what was going on. But as soon as he did, the dirt pit suddenly closed, burying him alive. So, who dug the earth pit? It was an old man who lived near the mountain, told his three sons that after he died, they should bury him in a piece of land 2 to 3 miles in front of Dongge. He said that if they yell Kai to the right place, it will open a trench. He said the land was a treasure trove of good fortune, and that his sons should be blessed with great luck and wealth in the future. Soon the old man died. The old brother went ahead of the two younger brothers who carried their brother's body. He reached the designated location and said Kai. The ground in front of him did actually open a large rectangular concave. He was so delighted that he right away ran back to his brothers with his horse lamp left at the side. However, Zhang, the old man, then came to check the place that night and was buried in the trench, occupying the trove of treasure and good fortune in advance. It was too late when the three sons arrived. Mrs. Zhang was anxious as her husband had been gone for a long time. She was unable to search for him herself, and there was no sign of the old man even in the next morning. Helplessly, she asked her nephew to help with her tofu business. Over time, the business thrived, and Mrs. Zhang felt herself getting heavier as day went by. Thus she knew she was pregnant. At the age of over 50, she gave birth to a son who she was extremely proud of, Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ. He was intelligent and grew up to be a powerful Taoist priest. He was so tall that over 2 meters, a large face with thick eyebrows and a red forehead, and green pupils. High pointed nose, and his eyes were in triangle shapes. an image of a brave and extremely strong mighty hero. Zhānɡ, the old mama, was more than happy to have a beloved son that she regarded him as the apple of her eye. 8 years passed in the blink of an eye. Mrs. Zhānɡ entrusted her child to study in a private school in East Village. Tutors knew that he was a genius and all agreed that with proper education, he's gonna make a difference when he grows up. The East Village is about 5 miles away from Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ's home, where he went to school early and came back late every day. One evening, on his way back from school, he passed through a chaotic burial ground and saw that the scenario was completely different from before. The overgrown grass and tombstones were gone, replaced by a new courtyard. Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ was curious and the gate of the courtyard opened. A beautiful and charming girl walked to him with a mild and steady pace and said,
"My lady was expecting you for a long time. She longed to meet you."
Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ couldn't refuse the maid's sincere invitation that he followed her into the courtyard. The garden was like a fairyland, with a collection of flowers and lush trees. When they arrived at the main hall, Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ saw a beautiful and graceful lady, just like a real celestial person.
Finally we met, messieurs. What took you so long? Please stay to have dinner at my humble house.
Despite his repeated refusal, they insisted Zhānɡ to stay. Eventually, he agreed. After dinner, Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ thanked the lady and was about to leave, but she stopped him.
Messieurs, it's such late night and not safe walking alone out there. Why don't you stay overnight in my humble abode and leave tomorrow morning?
Helpless, Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ had to stay. The courtyard and the pretty girl in front of him kept Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ awake. He noticed the lady lying on the next bed was with a bright lotus flower in her mouth. Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ got up and approached her to take a closer look. At the blink of eyes, the flower flew into his mouth without any warning. The lady woke up and accused him of trying to harm her.
"I was so nice to you, why you want to harm me?"
But he apologized and explained the situation.
"I'm so sorry. I was just being shocked by the strangeness. I never intended to harm you. The petal somehow got into my mouth by surprise. Please forgive me."
This flower is my lifeblood. To save me, we must get married.
To make amends, he agreed to marry her, as the lotus flower was her life-saving treasure. Her cultivation had been destroyed.
Now my cultivation have been ruined. I can't stay for long. I have to leave for a distance to recultivate. You may find me in a pine forest far away from Chinesemyth Mountain. You must get past Blackwater River over 3 steps wide in the middle of your way. Then it takes 3 more days and nights to reach the pine forest, where I will be waiting.
The girl wept as she spoke. She needed to leave immediately to the distant place to train again. They agreed to meet at a pine forest far away from Chinesemyth Mountain, with a black river and a 3-day journey in between. The next day, Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ got home and told his mother what happened last night. Mrs. Zhānɡ, the old mama, was overjoyed and told him to bring the lady home at once. She couldn't wait to meet her. When he was back to the lady's residence, what were there last night were no longer there. Only a courtyard with overgrown wild grasses and ancient graves remained. Seeing this, Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ wept bitterly and missed the lady more than ever. Since then, he lost his appetite and couldn't sleep at night. Old mother was worried and wondered who would be by her side if something happened to her only son. Despite his mother's repeated advice, Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ was determined to travel thousands of miles to Chinesemyth Mountain to find the lady. His mother agreed in tears. Zhānɡ, the old mama, packed up his son's belongings, prepared a horse, and took all of the family's new dozen taels of silver along with the servant boy, setting out on a long and difficult journey. After only a few days, the horse died in exhaustion. A few days later, the servant boy, worn out from the journey, fell ill and also died on the way. Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ continued on alone, not knowing how many days and nights had passed. With all of his money spent, he had no choice but to beg along the way to continue his journey. Finally, he reached and crossed over the Changbai mountain, arriving at the Heishui, the Blackwater River. It was said that the river water was so corrosive that it could rot everything it touched. The river was over 3 steps wide, but Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ summoned his courage, made a strong leap, and finally jumped over the black water. However, the back of one of his heels got wet from the river water, and half his shoes was torn off. He had no choice but to walk barefoot. After walking for another 3 days and nights, he saw a pine forest in the distance. The maid, who would watch day and night, saw Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ coming, and happily took him to see the young lady. The lady was moved by Zhāngg's sincerity, so she told him the truth.
I am a fox. I have practiced Taoism cultivation for thousands of years and turned into a fairy body. All my cultivation was transferred into your body, for the lotus were consumed by you. If you can practice with me for 3 years, we will obtain positive results and be able to catch and eliminate evil monsters for innocent people in the future.
The birth of Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ was such a strange experience to his old parents, and to him, his fair-wished adventure with the Huli Jing. Legend had it when Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ arrived at Sichuan, he first lived in Yangping Mountain, and then moved to Heming Mountain, where he received the genuine teaching of the supreme elder, Taoist Master, and was awarded the title of TinSi, the celestial master. Then he traveled around a lot of mountains in the region. In the year of 141, Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ finished the 24 Taoist scriptures. He called himself Xuan Yuan of Taiqing, recruited disciples and set up teaching, and established basic Taoism organization. Those who follow his way shall submit 5 buckets of rice, which was also called Dao, or 5 buckets of rice at a time. Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ was regarded as the ever first TinSi and was the head of the 4 grand celestial masters of Taoism. He was known for his series of heroic fights against demons, saving people from local witchcraft cults in Bashu area with his young apprentices. His might and legendary stories were thus spread in history. The second year of Eastern Han Dynasty, TinSi reached Mount Qingcheng. There he met the 8 ghost marshals and battled the ghost herds. He subdued erratic demons, eliminated evils and fakements. TinSi's Taoist powers were overwhelming, that the demons were no match to him. They were tamed one by one and willing to join the right way. Then, TinSi demanded all demons from all places and skies to make an oath under the Yellow Emperor altar. The people get to live in the mortal realm while the ghosts are in the net realm. The demon kings of 6 skies were imprisoned at the northern Fengdu city. 8 ghost marshals were exiled to the western border. Ever since, evils and monsters were all subdued, people lived happily and prosperously. Now, whenever you see a ferocious-looking guy with a tiger as his mount, you know that he's the mighty TinSi Zhānɡ Dào Línɡ. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe. Stay tuned at Don't Be Serious for more Chinese urban legends and Chinese mythology stories. Until then, I will see you in the myth.